Social Security, SSI, and SSDI benefits. New bill could eliminate taxes for millions if you're a senior citizen, disabled American, or anyone receiving Social Security benefits. You've probably wondered whether your monthly checks are really secure. Well, there's big news on Capitol Hill. Senator introduces new bill to eliminate taxes on Social Security benefits. This isn't just a minor update. This proposal could have long-term effects on retirees, disabled Americans, and the Social Security system itself. Let's walk through everything you need to know. Trump's bill versus the new proposal. Back when Donald Trump was in office, he frequently talked about protecting seniors and putting more money into their pockets. In fact, one of the measures connected to his administration was what he called his Big Beautiful Bill. President Donald Trump's Big Beautiful Bill helps older adults who pay federal taxes on Social Security benefits with the addition of a new temporary senior deduction. Now one senator is proposing a bill that would eliminate those levies on benefits entirely. This is where things get interesting. Trump's deduction helped many retirees, but it wasn't a full solution. Millions of Americans still ended up paying taxes on their Social Security. Now, lawmakers are taking a more direct approach that could potentially wipe out those taxes altogether. The You Earn It, You Keep It Act, the most talked about proposal right now, comes from Arizona. Now, Senator Ruben Gallego, Democrat Arizona, introduced a bill on Thursday titled the You Earn It, You Keep It Act to eliminate taxes on Social Security benefits. A House version of the bill was introduced by Representative Angie Craig, Democrat Minnesota, in April. This act would do more than just get rid of taxes. It would also strengthen the program for future generations by changing how payroll taxes are applied. It would also expand the Social Security payroll tax to apply to annual earnings over $250,000. Currently, the maximum earnings subject to Social Security payroll taxes is $176,100 in 2025. Consequently, high earners may only pay into the program for part of the year. So, what does that mean in plain English? Right now, a person who earns millions of dollars in a year might stop paying into Social Security after only a few months, once they've hit the taxable wage cap. This bill would change that, requiring wealthier Americans to continue contributing once their income passes $250,000. Why this matters for retirees? If you're on Social Security, you might be asking, how does this affect me? Well, the biggest immediate change would be the elimination of taxes on your monthly benefits. And if you're part of the roughly 20% of beneficiaries who still pay federal taxes on Social Security, that's money you could keep in your own pocket rather than sending to the IRS. Social Security recipients may owe federal income taxes on their benefits, depending on their income. How much they may owe is based on a formula known as combined income, the sum of adjusted gross income, tax-exempt interest income, and half of Social Security benefits. Here's how the math works today. Up to 50% of benefits may be taxed for individual tax filers with between $25,000 and $34,000 in combined income, or married couples who file jointly with between $32,000 and $44,000. Up to 85% of benefits may be taxable for individuals with more than $34,000 in combined income or couples with more than $44,000. That's right, nearly 9 million Americans are still subject to these taxes, even though they spent their entire working lives contributing into the Social Security Trust Fund. Supporters of the bill argue that this is about fairness. Seniors already paid taxes on their wages when they earned them. Those wages were then taxed again when they were contributed to Social Security. And now, when they finally collect benefits, they face taxation a third time. Senator Gallego himself pointed out that while seniors are stuck paying these taxes, high earners often contribute far less to the system than they could. Despite paying for decades into the system, seniors are still forced to pay taxes on their hard-earned benefits, while the ultra-wealthy barely pay into the system, he said in a statement. And he's not alone. Representative Angie Craig and several other lawmakers argue that this bill is about correcting decades of imbalance. What about the future of Social Security? It's not just about current retirees. Social Security's future is one of the biggest financial debates happening right now in Washington. According to official projections, the trust fund could face a shortfall as early as 2032. If nothing is done, benefits could automatically be cut by nearly 27% to 30%, a devastating blow to seniors who rely on these checks to pay for housing, medicine, and food. The Earn It, You Keep It Act claims it could extend the solvency of Social Security by an additional 24 years, up to 2080. That's a huge difference, especially when you consider how many younger Americans worry about whether the program will even exist for them when they retire. More money each month. But taxes aren't the only issue at stake. Many advocates are also pushing for a change to how annual cost of living adjustments, COLAs, are calculated. Right now, Social Security uses the CPIW, Consumer Price Index, for urban wage earners and clerical workers. But seniors often spend more on healthcare, housing, and essentials than the CPIW reflects. That's why there's growing support to switch to the CPI, Consumer Price Index, for the elderly. Analysts estimate that this change could increase benefits by $300 to $500 a month for many recipients, including those on SSI and SSDI. Imagine what that extra income could mean: covering rising prescription drug costs, paying utility bills without fear of shutoffs, or simply living with more dignity in retirement. Confusion among seniors. Part of the problem is that many seniors have been misled about taxes. Some believe President Trump's past policies already eliminated all taxes on Social Security. But that's simply not true. As we've already seen, up to 20% of recipients still pay. This confusion creates frustration. Retirees ask, why are we being told one thing, but living another reality? That's why clarity from lawmakers and legislation like the You Earn It, You Keep It Act is so important. Where things stand today at this stage, the bill has been introduced in both the House and Senate, but it still faces a long road. Committees will need to review it, debates will take place, and ultimately, it would require enough bipartisan support to pass. Historically, Social Security has been a politically charged issue. While Democrats often push to expand benefits, many Republicans focus on cost-saving measures. Whether this particular bill can gather momentum remains to be seen. What you can do: if you're a retiree, disabled American, or simply someone who cares about Social Security's future, your voice matters. Lawmakers pay close attention to the concerns of their constituents, especially seniors, who make up a powerful voting bloc. One way to support the proposal is by contacting your senator or representative and urging them to co-sponsor or vote in favor of eliminating taxes on Social Security benefits. Social Security is more than just a monthly check. For millions of Americans, it's the difference between living in security or falling into poverty. Eliminating taxes on benefits would give seniors back money they already earned and deserve to keep. Switching to a fairer COLA system would ensure benefits rise in step with real-world expenses. And expanding payroll taxes for high earners would help guarantee the program's survival for future generations. The debate is far from over, but the conversation is finally moving in the right direction. The question now is whether Congress has the courage to follow through. White heavy checkmark if you support increasing Social Security and eliminating unfair taxes. Write in the comments, I support Social Security raise. Thank you for watching and staying informed. This channel is always here to bring you the facts and explain how these changes could affect your life. Until next time, take care and stay strong.